I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my second vlog. Last time I was talking to you about how I got into music, and I'm really excited to be sitting here again and chatting to you. And it's obvious that music is a big part of my life. It's my job, although that seems quite a harsh term. It's my occupation, and it takes up a large amount of my time. And also, as musicians, we spend a lot of time practicing our instrument in order to get better. And so we seem to spend a lot of our time on our own. It's quite a solitary experience really sometimes, and yet the reason that we do this music is for a love of the subject. And so we also need to remember that music is also for pleasure. We do need to learn, and it's good to keep learning new things, but music is to be enjoyed as well. And the Midlands, where I'm from in the UK, has a great musical tradition. There are lots of brass bands associated with the mines of old. And I don't know if you've seen the film Brassed Off. That was a really fab film. You must watch that film if you ever get the chance. It's so heartwarming, so moving, and so very real and gritty. And as part of that local musical tradition, we also have a lot, or had a lot of choirs. There still are quite a few actually, but choirs were a great part of even village life. It always surprises me when I hear, or when I heard my old relatives talking about how every Christmas they all sang Messiah. Not one of them would have said they were musical at all, and they didn't read music. They always sang Messiah every Christmas, and they used it using the old solfa, the old do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, which actually I think sounds really, really tricky just reading those instead of reading the blobs going up and down. But I guess it's what you practice and what you learn to do. And so choirs are a fab way of just enjoying music and mixing with other musicians and enjoying music for pleasure. I myself am part of Ceramic City Choir. I've been a member since I was 22, with a few breaks for having kids and so on, and family life. There are lots of different sorts of choirs with all sorts of different stages of entry. You can have quite easy access choirs where you can just come along and sing quite popular songs, right up to quite rigorous auditions where you have to kind of go through quite grueling auditions, and then you will be singing high classical repertoire. The Ceramic City Choir that I sing with is kind of midway, so there is an audition but it's not terribly grueling, and we do sing classical works, but it's in a very amateur sort of setting where we can spend a long time learning together. I've sung loads of things over the years with the choir. I've got quite a lot of things here that I can tell you we've been singing. So really quite beautiful works and quite commonly performed works such as Verdi's Requiem. That's a beautiful piece to sing and to listen to. Vivaldi's Gloria, that's divine. Speaking of divine, we have Mozart, Laudate, Dominum. That is so beautiful. It's such a joy to be able to sing these, and we've sung them with orchestras as well as just perhaps the usual piano accompaniment. Of course, we've sung Messiah, we've sung this many times, and we've sung it in very different settings. We've sung it with period Baroque instruments, which are tuned lower, and I was glad of that when we get to those top A's, I can tell you. And also even sort of Baroque performances where the dotted rhythms are actually double dotted in that Baroque tradition. So we've sung that lots of times. In fact, we'll be singing that again next year after having quite a long break from it. And speaking of divine, still, Fauré's Requiem, the In Paradisum, is just beautiful. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love that. And that was a really special piece to us as well, because we were great Morse fans from the old TV series, and we went on a tour of Oxford, and the scene where Morse, the character, sort of staggers and falls as he becomes ill, they're playing and they're singing Fauré's Requiem, the final movement of that, and me and my son sort of stood on the spot like real tourist groupies, and we were remembering that piece there. So there's lots of different things that we've sung in the past of quite sort of standard repertoire. However, our fabulous musical director Anthony Rose has led us into new waters where we're starting to sing quite unusual things, and it's really great to step outside of the norm. And so Anthony's led us to sing things that I just had never heard of. This composer Joseph Jongen, a mass, It's quite quirky, the harmonies are quite striking, and that was a real hard sing for me, that was. We had to do quite a bit of practice for that, but I'm really pleased to have branched out and learned something new. We even sung some American songs arranged by Aaron Copeland. They were fab, that was great fun. And so this next concert that we're singing in just a few weeks' time, I've got the flyer here, is no exception. We're stepping outside of the mould again and we're singing Benjamin Britten. Britten was quite a quirky character. He was quite strange, I think. One of the bizarre bits of information that we were told was that on his death they found an envelope sealed with saying "do not open until after my death," and inside the envelope were all sorts of strange pictures of him posing naked. So it's like, why on earth do we want to see that now you've died? But there we go, that was Britten for you. And so the songs that we're singing this time, first of all, there's a sort of a conventional text. We're singing Jubilate Deo in C, and although the text is quite conventional, the harmonies are not. It's Britten after all. They are delicious though. The harmonies are beautiful, and so that's a real pleasure. We sung it once before and we're revisiting that. That's well worth a listen. It's great fun to sing. And then here's something completely different. I've never heard of this or sung this before. We have the cantata Unsent Nicholas. And the text I find is less than conventional. One of the movements, if I just find it, is Nicholas and the Pickled Boys. There we go. And it's all about the legends of St. Nicholas, who of course later became known as Santa Claus. But before that sort of heritage, it's all of the legends associated with him. And the Pickled Boys, apparently, is in a famine, some little boys in this particular area went missing, and then sadly and tragically they ended up in meat pies. It's a bit Sweeney Todd, that is, isn't it? And good old St. Nicholas comes along and brings them back to life. And there we go. So I'm not sure how a meat pie becomes pickled, but there we go. There we have St. Nicholas and the Pickled Boys. And again, the text is quite strange. The harmonies are also quite unusual. However, it is an absolute joy to sing it. It's well worth a listen. It's really good to step outside of your sort of normal track. We can easily get stuck into a groove where we just sort of listen to the same things. We just keep singing the same things, playing the same things. And it's really fab to just break the mould and listen to something else, sing something else, try something else. And I'm really grateful to our musical director for bringing these things to our attention. And so this is our next concert. And so I hope that's just a little taste of make sure that music is also for fun, it's for pleasure, we're supposed to enjoy ourselves. Yes, we spend long periods of time working away because we want to develop our skills, and a lot of my channel is devoted to that, and it's a very important part of our musical journey. However, don't forget we're supposed to enjoy ourselves, and I'm hoping that this vlog sort of opens that door and we can learn to enjoy and appreciate music together. So there we go. Thanks for watching, and I really look forward to next time. Take care. Bye.